Her questions wrote down. So, for those ladies who weren't here at the beginning of the ceremony, please introduce us to Scarred for Life, stabbed 39 times, and forgave.
Yes, hello everybody.
Hi.
Before I even go any further, I just want to say thank you to my son who's here with me. I believe in setting an example, and I have three girls and one son. He's the youngest, and I have to make time with him. So I was told, hey, take him with you. So I'm taking him with me, and he don't get to play his game too often. And because I don't believe in playing a lot of that game stuff, but weekends it went off and it wasn't working. But anyway, it's working now, so thank God. Yeah. So anyway, I wrote a book about my life. It's called Scarred for Life, Stabbed 39 Times and Forgave. And pretty much it's an inspirational book about a true story that happened to me. A burglar broke in our house, and he stabbed and killed my mother. And I watched him do this, and he stabbed and he killed me. Or he thought he killed me. And he left me there for dead. I was stabbed approximately 39 times. As I lay there, I was supposed to, of course, die, but I lived. And the living concept is what I continue to allow to be in my life today. When I was laying there, and it's in the book, but when I was laying there, I remember the enemy told me, go to sleep. Your life is over. And pretty much, when he said go to sleep, I understand now. Have you ever been in a situation to where it felt as if your life was over? You couldn't do nothing else. You might as well just quit, give up. You know, something happened traumatic, a scarred situation, and it was like, give up. But then that other part, the Spirit of God, told me to get up. And the same thing, I live on that because I let people know I can get up, you can get up too. And so I was able to get up and to get help and live. I wasn't supposed to talk no more. I wasn't supposed to walk no more. And they couldn't believe it. Doctors did surgeries on me, but they couldn't understand why things was coming back together. But I constantly let other people know it's because I believed. And that's all we got to do is we keep it simple and believing we can overcome anything.
In your book, Scarred for Life, one of the chapters in your book is entitled Lifestyles. Introduce us to lifestyle.
Lifestyles is just a understanding of how I grew up and how life was for me at the age of 11. We was not financially well off, you know, but we was able to use what we had to make it wonderful. And as a kid, I didn't really understand that we might have been poor because it was love there. We enjoyed life. I mean, we did different things. Nowadays it seems like everything has to do with money. But back then, you used a little bit of money to do great things. And so I talk about how my life was.
Okay, great. So moving into your gift, introduce us to that chapter in your book. Is this, when you're talking about moving into your gift, is this part of your recovery, during the recovery stage? Moving into your gift?
Yes. Well, actually what it is that what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build up this situation, and I want the reader to understand how I grew up, how things were, the life that I lived, and so forth. And so moving your gift is actually talking about my mother's gift and how she was the cornerstone of the family. She was the one, I know there's always one person in the family that brings the family together. She was the one that did the celebrations, all the different things, and she was the one that was there for everybody. Everybody talked to baby sister, that was her name. And so her gift, like I said, I talk about her gift of how she was relentless. You know how it is, Thanksgiving time, you have those ones that stay up all night, that do the extra. And the sons and the daughters will say, Mama, you need to go to sleep. Mama say, nah, I got to make sure everything is right. And so she used her gift, and that's one of the things that I really will always remember, regardless of how challenging it was. She continued to use her gift to be a blessing for other people.
So, Fredrick, once this had happened, and you had been taken to the hospital, and you was in the recovery stage, what was going through your mind in the hospital? Were you looking forward to getting out, living, seeking revenge, or getting out saying, you know, I got to do better in life? What was going through your mind? What was going on with you personally?
Personally, I can just say that first, the revenge concept was not in my mind. Life was in my mind. Overcoming, you know, the obstacle, not allowing different things to distract me into overcoming, because, you know, most people overcome the actual situation, but it's in the hospital when they die and give up. And so I had to be able to encourage myself and to believe that I was going to live. And I can't really explain. I look back now and I'm like, man, I went through that, but I know I can't say that it was just me. I know it was God. And because, I mean, some of the things, you know, it was people that were in ICU shorter times, had gone through less situations and that were dying, but I was still living. I was still recovering. And you know, the only negative thing that really happened in my life was when I was when I went to the hospital. I had a dream, and the dream was that I was running. I seen my mother far off, and I was running to give her a hug. And the closer I got to her, her face began to change into something evil. And so as I kept running, I couldn't stop, and something was pushing me toward her, and I knew it was an enemy or an evil thing. And this thing was trying to grab me, and when it grabbed me, it hit me in my chest. And before I knew it, I started losing breath. And before I knew it, I woke up, and I'm still losing breath. And nobody noticed it in ICU or anything, and I was literally fighting for my life. And so even then, you know, and that's why I say the whole concept in the hospital and so forth, I had to fight. I had to continue to believe. There was times where other people didn't believe that I was going to make it. I had to believe first. And then other people began to believe and be strengthened by it.
Okay, so now you've made it to become a teenager, and you're in high school, and you know, you're going through your daily life. How are you dealing with this at that point, and how were the people around you dealing with it? Friends, family? Well,
that's the second book, and the second book, this book only talks about the situation, the hospital experience, and what I had lived prior to that. The second book pretty much is going to talk about, now that I have overcame the hurdle of leaving the hospital, now I got all these scars. You know, and now I have to deal with being afraid, being insecure, feeling like I was ugly, wanting to kill myself. Why did I wish that I was alive? Why is my mother dead? I hate God. People putting me down. All kinds of different issues and challenges that I had to face after I left as a teenager. And so the second book is really a strength to encourage, of course, teenagers or anyone else that have had situations at a young age, and they're still dealing with those situations now, and it's like they can't get over the hump. So I just wanted to be a testimony or example of somebody. You can look at my life and look, people didn't give me money or take me out of the hood and everything was all fine. No, I had to live in the same hood. I had to go through the same hood situations, but yet and still I was able to overcome. So the fact of not feeling as if I was capable of going to college, capable of getting degrees, capable of just having a purpose, having goals. I said this earlier. It made me think about it. I used to think that if I had a wife and I had children, they were going to come out scarred. So I didn't want children. So it was a lot of things emotionally that I had to go through at that age.